Okay, so welcome to my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. I'm gonna keep making little comments about it because I'm so pressed that your girl did that. Yes, me all by myself. Let's go ahead and get right into this makeup look. I wanted to do something really creative. I was looking at, fun fact, one of my daughter's dolls, and it's a black doll and she has like multicolored hair. And the hair is actually what is going to inspire the look that I'm about to create. So at this point, I'm going to try to do more like chit chat talk throughs. But to start us off, for eyes, I really gotta focus. So we gotta get closer. We gotta get, more into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to voice over the eye portion, and then when I get back to my face, we can go ahead and start the chit chat. So let's get into the eyes. To start this eye off, I'm using the P. Louise base in wrowʻs 0, which is the white shade. I'm using a stippling brush, like a fluffy eyeshadow brush, just to disperse that product so that it's nice and thin and has a nice even base to go off of. I am using the Lorac Pro palette. This is their Los Angeles palette, so it has like brunch names on it. The first shade I'm going in with is called Avocado Toast, and I'm placing that on the inner portion of my lid. And then the second shade I'm going in with is called Blueberry Scone, and I'm mixing a little bit of that with Brother out of the James Charles palette. For the purple, I was using lavender, and unfortunately it wasn't showing up, so I did have to go in with a little bit of a deeper purple out of the James Charles palette, just so that it can show more true to shade. Now I'm just cutting the crease using more of that white P. Louise base, and I'm doing more of like a patting motion as I pull more of that color in. I'm going in with the deeper purple from the James Charles palette, and I'm going on the outer corner with back and forth windshield wiper motions just to blend it out. And then after that, I'm going in with this beautiful eyeshadow from Urban Decay. It's called Toxic, and it's this really pretty purple with a blue and green shift, and I'm placing that all over the lid area in a patting motion and then sweeping it into that dark purple. Using a fluffy brush, I'm going to blend out the edges so everything is nice and smooth and transitions well. And then I'm going in with glitter. Using the NYX glitter primer and you guys know, my Amazon loose glitter, I'm placing on the glitter primer and then patting on the glitter. And then I will take a little bit of liquid eyeliner. I'm going to tight line my top lashes, and then I'm going to move on to eyelashes. For eyelashes, I'm using Glam Room Cosmetics Sugar and Spice Duo. Okay, so I went ahead and I did the other eye off camera. I actually think this eye came out better, and that's probably the eye that's going to be in the picture. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move on to my face before I do my lower lashes. I actually usually do my lower lashes first, but I don't know. Today I just feel like I'm going to do it this way. There's no rules to makeup. You do it however you want, whichever way you like to do it. Some people like to do their face first and then do their eyes, and I'm not one of those people. I cannot do that. I feel like I would completely mess it up. So because I use so much color and the colors have a lot of pigment, I do need to clean up my face. Otherwise, it's gonna affect the way my makeup looks. So make sure you get like by your nose, because I know that sometimes like I'll have like fallout by the creases and then my nose contour looks really weird. Okay, so now that that's all cleaned up, I did moisturize my face earlier, but I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize it again because I'm about to put on foundation. Okay, so for moisturizer, I'm going in with my Fourth Ray Beauty. This is the Rose Face Milk. I have talked about this a couple of times on my channel. I really like this moisturizer because it's very thin and lightweight, and it's perfect for underneath your makeup. So for primer, I'm going in with my NYX Honey Dew Me Up. This primer is really interesting consistency. It's kind of slimy. It has like gold flakes in it. It smells great. It smells phenomenal. It don't smell anything like honey, but it's really good for hydration. And then if you see, it's like really slimy. It kind of gives you the idea, the consistency of honey. But I like to let it sit. Like when you rub it in, you want to make sure you rub it all the way in, because then it actually has like a tacky feel to it, which really makes for a good base for foundation. So you also want to make sure that you don't use too much of this. Using too much can also have this, if you wear it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like this weird, it's really weird. I'm just saying, like, it's weird. So, and now at this point that I've been rubbing it in, as you can see, it's like more tacky. It's not as like slimy, like it's slimy when you first put it on your hands, but once you rub it in, it has this tacky consistency. For foundation, I'm going in with the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. This is, I believe it's like a medium to full coverage foundation. It has vitamins, broad spectrum, blah, 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 blah. I'm in the shade Golden Tan. Okay, so I'm trying to be careful because I feel like whenever I wear white, that's when I make a mess and ruin shirts. Does anybody else do that? Leave a comment down below if you suffer with white shirt syndrome. That's what I call it. Anytime I wear a white shirt, I swear on everything, I get something on it. So yeah. So how was your holiday season? This is like my first official filming since the holidays. I haven't filmed since like December. This has been like December 13th. I believe that was the last time I filmed. And that was because I had downloaded the Catalina for my MacBook, and for the longest, like, my Canon wasn't working. It wouldn't sync to it. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I was about to buy a new cord and everything because I was like, well, maybe it's my cord. Like, I had it in my Amazon basket and everything. But turns out it wasn't my cord. Like, I had to do like quite a bit of research to figure out what was going on. And it turns out that whatever the system, the software for Catalina was like a beta. So when people would try to upload or like use their Canon cameras with the beta, it wasn't working. So I had called Canon, and they just told me, like, you know, someone's working on it, give it like a week. So I gave it like a week. I called back and I was like, yeah, it's still not working. And they're like, yeah, pretty much they were telling me like, we don't know when it's gonna work. So, and I'm like, excuse me, I need a date. And I know I'm not the only person that uses this software, so y'all gotta have something. After like following a bunch of people and, you know, listening to them, I found out that it was a thing. Like, everybody was doing it. So I had to figure out how to like downgrade my my software, and boom. So for concealer, I'm using the CoverGirl Trublend Undercover, and this is in the shade Golden Caramel. This is actually really close to my skin tone. Like, I should probably use this in the summer and not so much like right now. And I will brighten this up using my my brightening powder, just because that's just what I feel like doing. Okay, so to brighten up under my eyes, I'm using my NARS Ginger Concealer, and I'm just going to use a little bit. Okay, so now that I've gotten my foundation and concealer down, I am going to set my concealer. The powder that I'm using to set my concealer is my Makeup Forever HD powder, and this is in the shade 2. Those of you who have used Makeup Forever know that their shade names are usually just like numbers. So I'm gonna take, it's like a banana powder, so it's really good for brightening. So I'm just brightening underneath where my concealer is, and I'm patting that on. I'm not patting too much because I really don't want it to be cakey. and I want it to be, I don't want it to be so bright. So I'm saving my nose area because, like I told you guys, I'm working on my contour, and part of that is using this. So, okay, I do not bake underneath my eyes because under my eyes get so dry, it's not cute. So baking is a no-go for me. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to, I think I'm gonna lightly set the rest of my face because this Elixir foundation by CoverGirl is slightly tacky. So since I'm going to be using a powder bronzer, I want my skin to not be tacky, otherwise it could skip. So I'm lightly patting in some powder. This is the Makeup Forever Professional Pro Finish powder. This is a powder foundation. Now if you don't want to go this route, because this is definitely like full coverage, I would suggest using just like a regular translucent powder, or you could even use like a loose setting powder. That'll work too. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my bronzer. For bronzer, I'm going in with the Lorac TanTalizer. Yeah, this is the Lorac TanTalizer Highlight and Matte Bronzer Duo. So I'm using the bronzer in here, of course. It is this shade right here. They don't have like a specific shade name for this bronzer, but it's a really nice bronzer nonetheless. And I'm gonna go ahead and take, I usually have this brush that I use that I got from like CVS, and it's really good, but I never know where I put it. But I really want it, so hold on. Instead of using that, I'm going to be using my Luxie 504 large angled brush, and I'm going to tap it in there. And I like to do like patting motions to get it in, and I like to hold the end of the brush just so that I get more of like a light contour so that it's not so, you know, deep. And this just helps it not be as harsh. If you use like a light hand and you're just like patting the bronzer in, it gives you like a more diffused look, if you see what I'm talking about. And this bronzer is really warm, which like right now my eyes are more so on the cool tone side, but using this warm bronzer actually makes it so that, you know, this doesn't throw you off too much. Like it looks good against my skin. And then what I'm also going to do, I'm going to take my Essence contour palette. This is a duo contour, and this is in 20 for darker skin. I'm going to take a little bit of the deeper shade. I'm going to put it at the end of the brush here, and I'm just going to lightly kind of contour, chisel in a little bit of contour. You need like a very, very little bit. Like, do you see the difference that made already? So I'm going to do that with on the other side, and I'm just trying to keep it in the area that would be the hollow area. I'm not going to do it in my, I'm do a little bit on my temples. So I like to do a little bit here. At this point, I think I'm going to move on to my nose contour, which I have not perfected, so I don't think I'm going to do it on camera, so I'll be right back, okay? Okay, so I went ahead and did my nose contour off camera. I actually think I did really good this time, but you guys will let me know down in the comments, I hope. So since we've done bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and move on to blush. I'm using a oldie. This was actually really popular a long time ago. These are the Urban Decay 8-Hour blushes. This is their Afterglow 8-Hour powder blush, and this is in the shade Indecent. It's a really pretty like orangey shade, and I really feel like it will bring out the warm tones in my skin. It doesn't really go too much with the eye look, but it what it does is it helps my skin warm up, so it matches my skin more so than like the eye look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place that blush on the apples of my cheek very lightly. I'm not using a lot of it. I really just want this just to add a little bit of color to my face. It's actually going to blend more into the bronzer. And I also like to take a little bit of blush and put it right at the tip of my nose. Since this is such a light blush, it doesn't really make a huge difference when it comes to like the nose. but that's okay because I'm going to be using highlight in that area. So now I'm going to finish my lower lash line, and yeah, we're going to get closer with that too. So get closer to my face. So just to spice things up, I'm going to be using 3 different eyeliners. I'm going in with Electric Daisy, which is this really pretty green. Mine's is a little dried out, so you can see it actually was tugging my eyes a little bit, which is a little annoying because I always get these colors that I love so much and then they're dried out. Anyways, the next shade is called Prance, and then this purple is Piggy Bank. And I'm just doing it in 3 separate quarters of my eyes, and then I'm going to take the same eyeshadows I used in the crease area and kind of like set that eyeliner and then blow it out to the lower lash line. And then a cute little trick, which I've talked about before, I'm taking a liquid liner. The one that I use is by Physicians Formula, and I believe it's called like their dark black or black, whatever. I'm not a huge Physicians Formula fan. It's just one that I have on hand, and I'm actually just making eyelashes at the bottom. That way when I coat my lower lashes, because I really don't have a lot of lower lashes, when I coat them, it looks nice and put together. My brother was actually home from the military, which is why I have to finish this video in a voice over. So I was actually talking to him. You'll see me like bring my head up a couple of times. So I'm just coating my lower lashes with mascara, of course. And then we're going to move back into face. For bronzer, for highlighter, I'm going back in with the Lorac highlight, but it wasn't really doing anything. So I had to spritz my face, which kind of messed up my foundation a little bit. And once I did that, I tried to go back in with the highlighter. You can see it was just completely going left at this point. I feel like my brother was distracting me. So I am, just trying to get that highlighter to show. So I'm placing that on, the high points of my cheeks. And I also tried to do it on my nose where I contoured, but again, it didn't really do much. So for lips, I'm going in with Bare Minerals Attitude Lip Liner, and then for gloss, I am using the Glam Room Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Creme Brulee. Fancy. And that will complete this look. I really hope you all enjoyed my little tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure that you share, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, beauties. Oh, sorry, give me a thumbs up, like this video. Thank you. Until next time, beauties, mwah, stay blessed.